Welcome back. Wait, I lost it. I completely lost it. Welcome back to the Rise and Slice Golf Show podcast, episode 52. Welcome back, guys. I've completely, as soon as I said welcome back, I lost my train of thought. Hi, my name is Theo. Gentleman to my side, it's Chenji Meng. Hi, Chenji.
Dude, we've had the craziest
like the setup for this was an absolute mess. Chenji almost probably died from asphyxiation right before we pressed record for this podcast. He was coughing up his lungs. Look, he's still not good. I don't know if you're not watching this and you're listening, Chenji. I don't know. He's like beetroot red. He's not doing well. I don't know what's wrong with him. I think he's had a heavy weekend. I wonder why. Well, we'll get into that later on. But thank you guys for listening. Welcome back, episode 52. Quick little announcement. I don't know. Last week, episode 51, I was on holiday and we actually recorded an episode, but we haven't released it. Chenji doesn't know why, and he hasn't even asked me.
I can only imagine why.
So we're using this program. It's called Riverside to record the podcast. This is like the third or fourth week. In hindsight, this program is very good. It helps us out a lot. It's a lot faster to kind of upload upload video files and all that kind of stuff. It works great. But there's some bits like right now we're recording this. It could just stop recording at any point. Or Chenji is looking at me, but at one point he's like, "Oh, dude, I can't hear you." So we're trying to figure out the ins and outs. I still don't know if this is worth doing because every time we've used it, we've had trouble. So
we had a single live episode where we used this and it was usable.
For you it was usable, but I haven't told you the behind the scenes. Whereas where I'm downloading the video files and they're like chunks and I have to find. And because right now I have a camera on me, which is what you're looking at now, but I also have my webcam, which is what Chenji's looking at me from. And Chenji has exactly the same setup. So he's got a camera on him, and then he's using his MacBook camera to kind of see me and I can see him basically. So we're not just talking, like we're talking on the phone. I want to be able to see Chenji and his reactions. So does he. But what's happening is every time I'm uploading the files, and sorry, the webcams and on the thing, they're muted because if the webcam is turned on, this is echo that happens behind the scenes. So I don't know, man. It's all a bit weird. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm sorry.
What happened last week?
So last week, basically, there was at one point. No. Sorry. I finished the podcast today, so the podcast will be coming out, just not for episode 51. It might be episode 53. But because what we spoke on that podcast, it's not newsworthy. We spoke about my holiday. We spoke about nearly getting robbed. Well, almost getting robbed. I don't know how to explain that. We spoke about a bunch of things. It was a really good episode, and there's some really, really good clips coming out from that episode. But I couldn't.
When Theo shot under 70.
Oh yes, yeah. So I broke 70.
Theo broke 70.
I broke 70. We spoke about that. So that episode will be coming out probably next week. But this week's episode, because of what we're going to talk about, I can't leave it until 2 weeks' time because it's so topical right now. This episode has to be released this week, basically. But last week's episode, it doesn't really make a difference. Basically, I had trouble editing the podcast because the files were all off. So there was some files with audio, there was other files without audio. It was just a big mess, basically. Dude, honestly, I've probably spent 8 hours to try and edit a 1 hour simple episode.
Oh,
and
wow.
This morning I woke up and I was banging my head on the desk, why can I not figure this out? There's a bit where my camera goes off. There's a bit where Chenji kind of, I can see Chenji and I can hear Chenji, but he can't see and hear me. So I had to edit it. It's all a bit weird, man. It's not your typical professional show that we're so used to putting out on air, right? So I don't know. It will get released. There's some really good clips coming out of that episode. It's just on that podcast right now. I'm saying episode 52, but it's not. It's actually this is actually episode 51, and the next one's going to be.
If it ain't broken, we don't fix it.
I think that might be a good shout, dude. So I think maybe next week we might go back to the old ways because yes, it took a little bit longer, but we've never had trouble with it. So I think that might be a shout. We'll see. How do you feel about that?
It's up to you. You got the boss behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think we might go back to.
See, I told you, I've got the easy job. I just show up.
Yeah. So I think I think what we might need to do is start going back to. I mean, we're speaking about this first 5 minutes into the podcast. Nobody knows what we're talking about, but it's fine. Welcome back, guys. Thank you for listening. Breaking news before we speak about anything. What Chenji got up to over the weekend? Dude, have you seen the Sergio Garcia news?
Yeah, like he's settling with the.
Well, I don't know if he's settling. Sergio Garcia offered to pay £700,000 to the DP World Tour in a fine bid to make 2023 Ryder Cup. Sergio Garcia inquired about paying his outstanding DP World Tour fines in a bid to be available for selection for this year's Ryder Cup in Rome, live on Sky Sports. I'm reading that off Sky Sports. I probably shouldn't have read that bit. But yeah, the Spaniard refused to pay the 100k fine to the tour last season after resigning his card and leaving for Live Golf. But in a late bid to make the Luke Donald's team, Garcia offered to pay that sum and other outstanding fines totaling more than £300,000. That's mad. Yeah. So apparently the source also revealed that Ian Poulter and Lee Westwood, who also resigned the membership at the same time as Garcia, actually have paid the 100k fine. And Garcia has not yet repaid his fines. But, you know, he is the highest earning point earner on the Ryder Cup history of the Ryder Cup. Mm-hmm. So this is actually 2 questions. Number 1, why is the fine £700,000? Number 2, this might be completely silly of me to say, but the team is already picked. Can he just enter the team? Is he like a reserve player? Like, how does it work?
I mean, I think these are very good, valid questions, right? I think the first one, I don't know why the others paid, like Lee Westwood, Ian Poulter paid only 100,000, or only 100,000.
For them, it's definitely only 100,000.
Yeah, that's like barely one of Ian Poulter's cars.
Yes,
but you know, it's essentially breach of contract, right?
Yes,
so, and I guess each person's breach of contract might have been slightly different, and Sergio's, I guess, was a massive breach of contract.
I don't know. I don't know. It's really weird. Like, what? That's a big difference from 100k to 700k. But obviously, Sergio Garcia genuinely wants to play for the Ryder Cup.
And so I think, well, your second question, you know, I don't know actually this late, possibly as the alternate. But then again, you know, I doubt at this point, right, any of the players are going to put themselves in a position where they might get injured, right? So I don't know. But even then, let's assume he's eligible now to be picked for the European team. Somebody actually like sort of withdraws last second. Does he deserve to be on
I don't think so.
The Ryder team?
I think there's a big list of people before Sergio Garcia. I'm not saying legend of Ryder Cup, obviously. Future captain, maybe. You know, he's up there with Ian Poulter, 100%. But does he deserve to be in this year's Ryder Cup? I don't think he does. Neither does Ian Poulter, in my opinion. I don't think anybody would disagree with me. But it's just one of those things, man. It's a bit... I don't know. Like, if he wanted to play for the Ryder Cup, first of all, play really, really good golf for Liv. But that's difficult because what's your motivation? You're already going to get paid. And number 2, why are you so surprised that you didn't make the Ryder Cup team? You're nowhere near where you need to be. It's mad. I don't know. It's weird. I'm sure more stories and more things are going to come out because this article is literally like the news broke out like literally 5 hours ago. So
did we actually talk about why US Live players are eligible for the US team, but European?
We have a few episodes ago. We can briefly go through it now. Basically, the rule is the European players that are selected to play for the Ryder Cup, you have to play a certain amount of tournaments for the DP World Tour. That's one of the rules. So Live Golf players, obviously, that haven't been playing for the PGA Tour, definitely haven't been playing for the DP World Tour, right? So that's why they're not eligible. But for the USA team, there is no such rule. You don't have to. There's no like bylaw that says you have to play a certain amount of. A certain amount of a PGA Tour events to be eligible to play for the Ryder Cup. So that's why that's the loophole, basically, right? I'm right, right?
Possibly, But I've actually heard there was another reason.
Okay, please.
It's much simpler. It's because of the lawsuit, right? So live players are in a lawsuit with DP World Tour and the PGA Tour of America.
Yes.
Right. Actually, no, sorry, the PGA Tour. But the organizers of the Ryder Cup is the DP World Tour and the PGA of the Americas, which is a separate entity compared to the PGA Tour,
Right.
is actually in the litigation. So that means the American team players, because their sort of part of the Ryder Cup is technically organized by the PGA of Americas, which is not part of the litigation at all. That's why they're eligible for it. Whereas for the European players, the same body that they're in a lawsuit with is the same body that organizes the European Ryder Cup team, which is why they're not eligible to be picked.
Fair enough. That makes sense. But yeah, either way, Europe's going to win. This is all, dude. Speaking of Europe winning, what the hell happened over the weekend? First of all, before we get into your drama, well not drama, your personal weekend, how did Ludwig manage to mess up so bad on the Sunday at the BMW Championship, dude?
Mate, dude, I was just thinking he was going to win.
Mate, okay, I'm going to tell you something. I haven't told you this before. What before?
Oh, did you put some money on him?
Stel had a bet. He put a bet on. He put an accumulator. So he does this every single week. An accumulator of he put 10 football teams in the Premier League plus Ludwig Aberg to win. But he had him and each way in top 8 places. Dude, with £20, his return was just under £19,000. All he had to do, Ludwig, was finish top 8. He was 4 under on Sunday morning, right? And he managed to finish 4 over. He was 4 under, and on Sunday he shot 4 over, and he missed. And so Stel missed this bet. He won every single other bet, or the football bets. The only thing he missed was Ludwig not finishing top 8. In what planet would you not think that Ludwig would finish top 8 after seeing how good he played Thursday, Friday, and Saturday?
He was leading by 2 on Saturday.
He was leading by 2. He goes 6 under, I think, overall. No, sorry. Was it 6 under?
No. It was minus 16.
Right. Sorry. I meant
it was 16 under.
Right. And because of one shot, he didn't finish top 8 and still lost the bet. £19,000. Well, it would have been £4,000 or $5,000 because of the each way.
You can't make this stuff up,
dude. This is mental. From a £20 bet.
Oh my gosh,
Stel's fuming, as you can imagine. I'm sure he'll tell you all about it on Sunday. But he I can't believe it. It's just how does that happen, man? The outside, he was 23-1 to win, but it was just. How do you mess up so bad on the final day? I don't know if it's nerves. I don't know what it is, man. But all you have to do was just kind of carry on playing the way you've been playing for the past. I think, if I could be wrong, but in his past 50 rounds, he's not had a post 70 score. He's always been he always started with a 6 since however long.
Yeah.
So he's destined for great things. So I said to Stel, listen, he's still new. He's still learning. He's still trying to get into grips with pressure and, all of this kind of hype around him. So he will eventually get used to it. But unfortunately, yesterday wasn't his day.
I mean, look, he's 23 years old.
Yeah.
I feel like there's 2 players in the world. There's 2 types of players in the world. There is, Thursday, Friday, Saturday players, and then there is the Sunday players.
Yes, I agree.
Rory is a Sunday player.
Yeah, I agree.
John Rahm, Sunday player.
John Rahm smashed it on Sunday.
Unfortunately, Aberg at the moment is on a Sunday player.
I agree. In other news, Sahith Theegala, our boy, I'd love to say fan of the show, but he's not. But I mean, we're big fans of Sahith. He won his is it his first PGA Tour win? 49 Championship, unbelievable golf.
Second places.
Yes, yeah. He's been smashing it. Big fans. How he did not make the Ryder Cup team is beyond me. Again, he would have been so good. Do you know what his problem is, though? He's not very consistent. He's prolific. He's very known for like slicing the ball a little bit as well. He's not very consistent off the tee, but when he hits it, he hits it. He's very good with putting. Great short game. Irons are decent. Everything's good. I think he would have been so good for the Ryder Cup. But again, just wait 2 more years. Say, your turn's coming, mate.
I mean, you saw over the weekend Justin Thomas was making the rounds. Like he was having a couple of good rounds, but in the end, again, finished even par on Sunday.
Yep.
Finished 5th overall for the Fortinet Championship.
Yep.
What do you think?
So apparently, I've read somewhere that Justin Thomas has been changing a couple of things in his bag, and the number one thing that's made a big difference, if I'm not mistaken, he's shortened his driver shaft by 1/4 inch, and now apparently he was averaging like 340 yards off the tee.
Well, yeah, definitely hasn't shortened it; he's lengthened it.
So it was the opposite. So he's lengthened.
Yeah.
So he made it longer by 1/4. It was either he made it longer by 1/4 inch or he made it shorter by 1/4 inch.
Definitely longer. You can't hit it longer by having a shorter shaft.
No, but I think what he gained on was more control. It was something like this. So I think because he shortened it, well, I'm going to try and find it. I think because he shortened it. There we go. Here we go. I just found the thing. Where is it? I was reading it really well. I can't find the. Dude, I'm.
Yeah, he said that's what he said. Justin Thomas adds longer driver to his Arsenal Fortinet Championship.
Have you found it?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Could add an extra 15 yard to his drives, and it did.
It's amazing what a 1/4 inch can do, hey?
That's what they say.
Hey. But yeah, it's. I'm glad. I hope he plays well. Obviously, I hope he doesn't play too well. But yeah. Sorry.
Just kidding. Team Europe all the way.
Team Europe all the way. It's mad, right? Because I've watched the Rick Shields podcast like they did last week, and they've raised up like a quite what's it called, an interesting topic. They said, "Do you care if Team Europe wins as much as the Americans care if Team America wins?" Does that make sense? Because with Team Europe, it's a collective of a bunch of different countries, but with America, it's literally just USA. So if you're an American fan, like you're proper red, white, and blue, all in American Eagle, stripes and whatever it is. But with Team Europe, it's just not the same feeling. Like, obviously, I want Team Europe to win, but if they don't win, I'm not going to be like making fun of Americans, like, oh, America lost. I don't know. It's weird. It's proper weird. Like, it's not just England versus America. Or I don't know, Spain versus America. It's an entirety continent. It's a continent. So it's just weird. I don't know. It's very weird to think that is Team Europe. Apparently, did you know? It used to be England versus USA, but then England used to get the bum smacked every single time. So they were like, yeah, let's just branch out a little bit, get a few players from here and there.
You've got 300 million population in the US versus 60 million in the UK.
I agree.
It's just statistically, you're going to find more better golfers in the US than the UK, I guess.
I agree.
But funny that you say, right? But I feel like everybody in Europe will, without hesitation, support Europe, even if Europe has a weaker team. Yeah. But have you watched the Full Play podcast
the
other day?
Yeah.
And they were saying doing an interview of all the guys there in Barstool Sports. Asking them are they supporting American team or European team? And there were a few people saying they support the European team.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
What?
Yeah, but again, the people that did pick Europe, they're probably like Italian. They got like Italian heritage, and just because of the fact of where
American.
I know, I completely agree with you. But it's just one of those things.
Look, I spent more time in the US than I did in Europe. Actually, no, that's a lie. In the UK, at least.
Yeah.
But I'm now here. I live and breathe the UK. I speak with a British accent, and you're a better win.
The better win. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be.
Why it's going to be good? Because the European Ryder Cup team is playing so good right now.
I know, mate. Did you see the standings yesterday?
I
It's
mean,
like every single Ryder Cup player is like top 10.
look, 7 out of the 12 Euro Ryder Cup team
Yeah.
made top 10
Yeah.
at the BMW PGA Championship.
I can't wait.
9 made top 20.
Incredible.
Sorry, Bobby. Sorry, Nikolai Højgaard. Sorry, Justin Rose.
It is what it is. Right. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of the BMW Championship, Chenji had himself a weekend. Last minute, I've got so many questions. Like, I don't know details. I've just seen a couple of pictures here and there. Somehow, Chenji gets members' tickets to the BMW Championship. He's wearing a Wentworth hat, a white hat, and he's covered in signatures. I don't know if that's my hat or not. I don't think it is. Where is my hat, Chen? Wait, what do I have?
It's in the bag.
It's in the bag.
I'll see you Sunday.
I see. I can't wait for Sunday. Right. So please, Chenji, without further ado, please tell us, first of all, how you acquired these tickets and tell us all about your weekend.
I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube or watching this on clips, you can see I'm just decked out in like Wentworth gear. And to be fair, this one I bought like 2 years ago.
Right.
But the hat is like, yeah, we got some nice signatures, autographs. I mean, just basically, I wasn't really going to go to the BMW PGA this year because for the last 2 years stunning, I went and I got kind of lucky because I bid on these Hilton packages and, which is like a hospitality experience. And both years, it was relatively sort of like, reasonable in terms of how much they cost. Right, especially the first year, they had many packages. Second year was actually really tough. I was so surprised that I actually got it, and because they halved the number of tickets available.
Yeah.
And then this year, like the tickets came out, I think in June. I mean, almost every day I do log on and check, when it might be sort of, live, and so I can buy it. But this time around, I was literally logging on, and then they released it like a couple of minutes ago, and it was gone already because it was only like 1 or 2 packages.
Okay.
Which is crazy. Plus, out of those 1 or 2 packages, they've doubled the price as well. So it's like, is it really worth it? So
yeah.
I was thinking like, okay, no chance, not going to go. And I think at that point, all the general admissions tickets for Saturday and Sunday were sold out as well. So yeah, nothing really happened until like less than a week before the event actually happens. And a friend just said like, want to go watch some golf? And said, yeah, sure. I was like, okay, like normal tickets, I guess. And then literally next thing, she's asking, what's your address? I'm going to ask them to send you a parking pass. I was like, whoa, hold on a second. Like, no one's allowed to go park in there doing the event. I was like, okay, didn't know what to expect. And then 2 days later, get sent, a mail arrived in the post with nice little card and a parking pass basically for the whole week. And instructions of this and that, sends me over a ticket, and it's basically like a member's ticket, right? So you get to access the whole clubhouse, you get to access all the areas, right? So this is the key thing. If you're a member there, right, they will not stop you going anywhere.
Okay, I like that. Right?
So obviously you don't get the hospitality experience. I mean, you can still go to the clubhouse, you can buy whatever drink or food you want, but like out of pocket. There's no like all you can drink or package. But the thing is, it's just a pure access, right? So there is a few hospitality experiences that you can purchase, right? I think there's 3. One is the Championship Village, which is basically like a place you just stop over and grab some food and drinks. It's relatively affordable. The point is, it's just somewhere for you to stop and grab some food,
like quick,
but
in and out.
Quick food, yeah, in and out, because there is, you can't watch any golf in there, right? Then there is the Green on 18, which is really, really cool. This is the tent that you can see on the side of the 18th hole in Wentworth, and whereby you can have food, drinks, afternoon tea, whilst sitting on the terrace and watching the 18th hole. Now that's actually you can spend all day there, right? Which is what I did last year.
Yeah.
And then the last one is called the ballroom, which is basically the ballroom within the clubhouse, right? Which is reserved for this hospitality experience. You get, again, all day food and drinks, and you get a shuttle whereby you can then go to the 9th hole and then have some sort of free refreshments in the halfway house whilst watching the players, right? So that's the only sort of difference compared to the other 2. You still can't watch any golf whilst you're in the clubhouse. right? Because again, there's no views of anything.
Yeah.
But you can go watch golf, taking the shuttle to the ninth hole, and watching people tee off on the ninth, and which actually really worked out this year because they had a stacked start on Saturday and Sunday, because I think it was really foggy on Saturday morning, so they had to say, okay, late 10:30 tee off, but we're going to tee off both from the first tee and the ninth tee.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, so as like having members tickets, you get the same shuttle, right, to go to the ninth hole, but whereby the ballroom hospitality people had to sort of stay outside the cordon. If you had the members sort of wristband, you get to go inside the, like, what's it even called, that, like the cordon off areas, right? So you literally get to just
Walk around anywhere you want.
walk around anywhere you want, and you can stay inches
Yeah.
next to players.
Wait, okay. So did you pay for these tickets?
No.
Are they? Can you buy these tickets?
No.
So the person that you got the tickets from, are they members at Wentworth?
No.
So how did they get the tickets?
They know the owners of the golf course.
Do we now know the owners of the golf course, or
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
can we play Wentworth, or how does it work?
I mean, if we can play Wentworth anytime. I know people there, so we can do it.
Dude, I think that's a plan for like the next few weeks.
Wentworth is actually owned by the Chinese, right?
I don't know. Why would I know this? Why would I know this?
To be fair, it was actually quite it's interesting because I think it was like almost, that's not 10 years ago now, maybe 2016, 2017. There was like a whole sort of debacle because the Chinese came, like a real estate or conglomerate basically from China, who owns actually the Chinese licensing rights for Red Bull. Obviously
Okay.
made billions from that.
Yeah.
Again, another fun fact: Red Bull in China is different than Red Bull abroad. It's
What?
kind of very different.
What? As in flavor wise, or like the name of it?
Both flavor, naming, and design.
Okay.
Because
So
again,
it's not Red Bull then.
It's not just 20 years. No. But like they can call themselves Red Bull without a copyright infringement because they made like a 20-30 year deal to distribute Red Bull exclusively in China, which is crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And it's much cheaper than normal Red Bull. Anyway, so he's now like owning a bunch of golf courses in China, hotels, like beverages, right, everything. And then he bought Wentworth in 2015 or 16. And one of the first things they did was trying to make the club more exclusive. So obviously offend a lot of the old boys of the club, right? I mean, look, Wentworth was already a posh club before.
Right.
And then they tried to make it even posher, right? And that offended a lot of the less posh boys.
Makes sense.
Right? So like, whereas before you paid like, I don't know, 10,000 to get in as a joining fee, he scrapped the joining fee and made it into a debenture instead.
Okay.
And a debenture, have you heard of debentures before?
Is that where you kind of buy into the club and you own shares?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
And a lot of the Asian courses do that. Centurion is doing it. A couple of those courses, newer courses, especially in the UK, do it now across Europe, America. So instead of paying for a joining fee, you buy a limited amount of debentures.
Yeah.
So once you hold a debenture, you can keep it or you can sell it, right? And right now, a debenture goes for about between 150 to 200,000.
Right. Wait.
And it's hard to get
At Wentworth.
at Wentworth.
So for you to become a member there, you need to basically buy into the club by paying 150 grand.
Yep, at least.
And then what about like the fees after that every year?
Every year, I think a few years ago, it was about like £8,000 to £9,000 a year, which is not too bad for like 4 courses, right? So 3 championship courses.
I didn't know they had 4 courses.
And a 9-hole par 3 executive course.
I did not know that there was 4 courses there.
You get access to like a jacuzzi, swimming pool, tennis club, basketball courts, everything, health and wellness.
Okay.
Right. So, yeah.
So why do we know people there?
I think it's almost like 20 grand a year. So every single year they've been making it more expensive, more exclusive, kicking out all the members who are not posh enough.
Jesus Christ, mate.
No, it's crazy. But yeah, he bought it off a English billionaire, Richard Carey, who owns several hospitality businesses here, for like over £100 million.
Wow.
Like 2016 or something. But anyway, so now it's owned by the Chinese.
So because it's owned by the Chinese, we have her in because you're Chinese.
right?
So
Of
you
course.
kind of walk in and they're like, oh yeah, you can play for free today. It's no
Yeah, of
problem.
course. We're all
Bring your
cousins.
friends and family.
Easy. Yeah. Anyway, so it was a good day, right? You saw loads of players up close, right? Again, it's just the access is crazy. I guess it makes sense because if your golf club hosted a tournament, you expect that the members get
To be looked
access
after.
to everywhere to be looked after.
I agree. But again, I can also imagine rules to be in place. It was like, don't approach the players, don't ask for pictures, don't ask for autographs, be respectful, be whatever. Obviously,
I got a
you're not a
story for that.
member. You're not a member, so you can do whatever the f you like, mate. Because that's what you
Mate,
did.
I was respectful because I was like, this is a long-term thing. But I was at the ninth, was inches away from all the players, yeah. There were a couple of like young members, and oh my gosh, they had so much to drink. They had
Oh
so
no.
much to drink. Like, I'm pretty sure they had to cut off some like live televised feed
Oh
just because
no.
they were so loud. They were shouting, they were like, really patting the players as well. I think some of the players got really annoyed.
No way.
Yeah.
So where
Like it was
you
just
were,
it
and
was
you
a bunch of lads.
obviously. So where you were, and you were so close to the players on the 9th, for example, where like the general admission tickets holders, could
So
they be
basically, like
where
the
you were?
general admissions holders, there was like, you could stay outside the cordon off areas, right? And they would basically like, put up these cordons, I guess, is that what they're called?
Like ropes?
Like ropes, sorry, ropes, sorry. English is
One day at Wentworth and he's already getting posh on me.
So obviously, like they rope the access between the 8th hole and the 9th hole,
Yeah.
right? So nobody can get in. But then, like the members can literally be in there, right? So as they walk up to the 9th tee, they walk past you, literally past you without any ropes,
Sick.
right? So all the guys there were like, "Yes, good, dude." Like for example, Tara was like, "Yes, go, Tizard, T Drizzle."
Jesus Christ.
And then like patting them on the back, giving them
Oh.
like a forced high five.
Yeah.
And then they hit like a good shot. They said like, oh yeah, like with some swearing words. That's not for this appropriate for this podcast.
Yeah.
If they hit a bad shot, they still said like, oh, that's amazing. And they couldn't even see it.
Wow.
That's
right.
That's how drunk they were.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my next question is when is
and actually funny enough. So then the last group came, and that was like Ludwig Urberg.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously like live televised, and the cameraman was literally like bending down, like going for the angle, like watching sort of what's it called, like shooting the video shots, the
shot tracer.
shot. Yeah, and then he was like, he paused the camera and told the guys, like, you guys need to shut the up.
I don't blame him. I'm surprised there wasn't like any marshals or like volunteers there to be like, guys.
Yeah, the volunteers were all there, but I think they were told just don't mess with the members.
That's just bad, though. That's just really, really bad because it's just embarrassing for the club, right? It's embarrassing for the.
I thought it was slightly embarrassing, man.
Jesus. So you were like very close to the players. I want to know is how you got the pictures. Walk me through getting pictures and signatures.
So this is some like insider access as well, right? So one day, have you watched the event?
Bits of it and highlights, yeah.
But like on the 18th, right? There's a big grandstand,
yeah,
like on the back behind the 18th green,
yeah,
right? And then when they finish, they go into this tunnel, and above this tunnel, there's like the BMW car, right?
Yes.
So in that tunnel, basically, it's like a little platform where they walk up,
yeah,
and then it's like a little, like, it goes up to this little path,
yeah,
which is again all sort of like with barriered,
yeah, which yeah,
and it goes straight through
to the clubhouse.
To this little path to the clubhouse.
Yes, that's normal. That's every 18th green on any PGA Tour event is exactly the same.
Yeah. So you're on but obviously you get access to the clubhouse.
Yes. Right.
So you were just next. You were just by that little exit where all the players are guaranteed to come through, right? And voila, that's it.
So you were like stopping these players after their round. It wasn't in between shots or in between holes.
He could have done it, but I just thought better not disturb their whole like concentration.
I don't think they would have stopped if you stopped them in between holes.
Yeah, probably not. No, but the thing was, like, for example, right, there was one group that was playing really quick. I think, who was it actually? well, actually, it was Victor Hovland's group. They were
Okay.
super quick, right? And then there was like a 15-minute gap behind them. But anyway, because they were so quick, they had to wait for the guys in front,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And they were just on the tee box chatting with each other for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, I think a kid got like a selfie with Victor, right? And I'm pretty sure I could have just like, literally patted his back because he was inches away from me, inches, right?
Dude, that would have been my perfect day. I don't.
Mate,
I wish I was there.
but I was like, okay, these guys are properly playing. I don't want to sort of
Yeah.
like.
I would have been the same. I'd be like, look, listen. If they make eye contact, I'd be like, oh hey, hi Victor. I'm going to see you in
Victor.
Rome in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Let's get some
seriously
pizza.
though, like these guys are so in their zone.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Like, because I was on the putting green, like watching them, right? Watching them go from putting green directly onto the first tee,
Yeah.
right? And they just literally have the earphones in, like the AirPods, and they were so focused. People call up the names and they don't even hear it.
I
right?
bet you
thinking about it.
they have their AirPods in and nothing's playing. But it's just that thing, that universal thing of, oh, someone's got headphones on, they must be listening to something. No, sometimes they just want to be left alone, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't want to be disturbed. They're trying to get in the zone.
They want to win.
Yeah, of course.
Look, it's a mentality of elite athletes.
Yes, I agree.
So everybody can play golf. There's a lot of good scratch golfers. There's a lot of good basketball players. There's a lot of good footballers, right? But how do you get to that top level and stay in that top level? It's the concentration, right? It's the mental preparation, right? If you're just always distracted by the crowd, by something, right?
Yeah,
you're not gonna win tournaments.
I agree.
Right? You're not gonna make cuts.
Right?
And another real cool thing was, like, you could access sort of you couldn't really access the players' lounge, but you could go onto the balcony, like by the terrace,
right?
where you can watch the guys practice. So whereas the general sort of admissions are sort of really packed behind where the players are shooting, like practicing drives in the driving range, right?
Yeah.
You were like on the side watching them inches away.
That's really cool, man. So what time did you get there on Saturday?
Like, to be fair, I didn't expect anything, and so we got there at like 10 o'clock. If I knew what those tickets were, I would have gotten there
6 in the morning, night before, camping out.
The night before, camping out. And
wow.
To be fair, like I was talking to some of the guys in there, like especially the younger guys who were waiting for autographs. Like early morning, they were there, and then they got loads of autographs from everybody.
That's pretty cool, man.
Because all you did was stand next to the players' lounge, and as they either came in to get some breakfast, or went out to the practice green or like the practice range, right? They're just like, okay, cool, great, sign.
That's pretty cool. Did you see Rory?
I didn't get to see Rory because he teed off on the 9th, and while he was teeing off, I was watching Minwoo, John Rahm, and Matt Fitzpatrick tee off.
That's pretty cool. So out of everybody, who was like the nicest? Did anybody stand out a little bit?
I'll tell you what, I was actually really surprised.
Go on.
Who do you think is the nicest person?
I think I'm going to go with Victor. You're going to tell me.
He was all right. He was friendly, but he was like really.
You're going to say Tyrrell, right? You're going to say Tyrrell was by far the nicest.
Like, go on. Who do you think?
I think Tommy probably pretty nice. John Rahm, if he's not too stressed out, he will probably be quite nice. Tommy Fleetwood, I said Tommy. Tommy, definitely a nice guy. I'd love to sit down. Min Woo Lee, definitely a nice guy. I hope he's not up his own bottom. I don't think he is. I hope to God he's not. Because is he?
Min Woo.
Is he?
Like,
is he a bit big-headed?
Look, I have no idea, man.
You know, you just don't want to say.
We love Min Woo. We love Min Woo.
Oh, we love Min Woo Lee. We love him. I hope
we've been raving about him since last year.
Yes, we have. Last year, I told you, I think we did an episode where we spoke about players to watch in 2023, and two of those players was Min Woo Lee and Max Homa. I don't remember the rest. I think I might have said Will Zalatoris, but obviously he's injured. But yeah, anyway, I'm digressing. But yeah, Min Woo is definitely my guy.
There were a few people actually waiting for that group because the group that teed off was Matt Fitzpatrick, John Rahm, and Min Woo Lee.
Okay.
Right. And yeah. Min Woo was the first to come out.
Right? Okay.
Bearing in mind, It was Saturday. He shot 6 under.
Yeah.
Great round.
Yeah.
He's in contention.
Yes.
Walks past.
Yeah.
There was like a little kid there.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
kid there.
Yeah. I can imagine.
It wasn't like there were that many people. It wasn't that many people.
And he still,
right?
and he didn't stop.
And I think a lot of people didn't even know him. I think people were there to just wait for John Ram.
Right. Yeah.
He just like walks past, just says, "Sorry guys," and just left.
Okay, it's okay. It's all right. Maybe he's
No,
rushing.
it's okay.
Maybe he needed the toilet. Maybe he was really hungry. You know, we can't be making our minds up of these players just from one interaction.
Absolutely.
So I hope.
I think he's a cool guy. You know, you saw how happy he was for Ryan Fox when
Yeah,
Ryan Fox
he was.
on the 18th.
Yeah.
Right. I still think he's a great guy.
Yep.
But I thought he would have been much more approachable.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas the person that I thought would have been least approachable was
Tyrrell.
John Ram.
Okay.
Or Tyrrell. I've only seen videos of John Ram ignoring people and all that. Right.
Yep.
But he literally signed every single person's stuff.
That's wicked.
A lot of people came up to him, right? This guy comes up with 5 or 10 Augusta flags.
That's annoying.
No, but to be fair, if they could, if they were there, they probably knew somebody or.
Oh yeah.
So basically, he was just there and signed all 10 of them, or 5 or 10 of them, right? Signed the kids' cabs, signed people's everything. Stopped by and chatted to people. He was literally in front of the the clubhouse for 20 minutes before he left to go somewhere. I'm sure he's got more commitments after the round than many other players.
Yeah, I agree.
He's made time for fans.
That's good.
He's made
good for
time
him.
for maybe people that he knew, right? So massive respect to John Ram.
I agree.
Right?
Well done. Good job.
And then Tyrrell as well.
Yeah.
Very friendly, right? Actually, funny enough, I saw him tee up in the 9th hole, and then he hit a pretty horrible shot, and he was just his usual demeanor.
Yeah.
Kicks the tee off, right? Just sweats a little bit, right? But then after he comes out from the 18, walks through the clubhouse, chatted with him. I talked to him about his club, which is Hungerford Golf Club, who he's a member of. He rarely plays there anymore. I don't think he ever goes there. And then just have had a friendly chat with him.
That's good, man. Well done.
But yeah, so Tyrrell, John Ram, definitely the friendliest. Ryan Fox, amazing guy. Had a quick chat with him. I mean, wished him good luck. I'd like to think that.
Mate, it was all you. That was all you.
I told him. I actually just told him if there was one guy, I would want to make drives for me for £1 million.
It's him.
Fairway. I would choose you. I wouldn't choose anybody else.
I agree. Right? That's good, man.
I'm so consistent.
I'm glad you had a great day. Obviously, you were sending me pictures all throughout, and I was swearing at you because I was jealous, but in a good way. It's oh my god!
You were posting my selfies on our Instagram.
Yeah, of course. You have to. What do you mean? That's the whole point of the podcast and the Instagram. You have to post things.
Dude, I'm shy, dude.
Don't be shy. You're not shy. You're not shy, Chenji.
Of course I'm shy.
So Chenji's taking pictures with Tommy Fleetwood, Victor Hovland, I don't know, John Rahm, Ryan Fox.
I'm sending this to Theo. I'm just these are our favorite players.
Yeah, and so that's why you post them on the Instagram. The golf page is for golf-related things, Chenji. This is the most golf-related thing in the world.
Okay, fair enough.
And you didn't post it.
Right. Dude, I'm low-key, dude.
No, don't be low-key with things. Be low-key with everything else, not with these things. He's sending me pictures hugging Tommy Fleetwood. And it's yes, of course you're going to post that on Instagram. What do you mean?
Fair enough.
But yeah.
Said hi to Aaron Rye.
Oh, wicked.
On behalf of our boys of Me and My Golf.
Yes. Shouts out to Andy and Piers. We love you. But yeah, that's really cool, man. He played so really well.
Cheeky. I was looking at his bum. Not because I was checking out his bum, but I really wanted to see if he had his 2 gloves.
Yeah, he did.
In his back pocket.
Yeah.
No, but when he came out, he didn't. I was I really wanted to, I don't know, ask for those gloves.
I know, that would be really cool. But yeah, he's famous for, well, he's not famous, but he's known for wearing 2 gloves while playing golf. And he played so well, dude. He plays really, really well. The DP World
second shot, almost forcing a playoff. That's crazy.
Incredible.
That's crazy.
Amazing golfer.
Won himself, I don't know how much, 800,000.
Yeah.
Great. Well done.
Is that how much he won?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Is that the prize pot was actually that big?
Well, I think the pot was like 6,250,000 euros.
Oh wow, wicked!
So first, the winner I think gets about 1.3, 1.4 mil,
That's amazing.
and second place gets I think 700, 800. Obviously like tied for second, so like two people are sharing in a pot of 1.4 million maybe.
That's wicked.
So yeah, probably
And
like
then
at least 700,000
yeah,
euros each.
so you do whatever you do on Saturday, and then on Sunday you had a ticket to go back again, but not the same ticket, right?
I mean, I had a ticket to go back and decided to play golf instead.
Oh, so you didn't end up going?
No,
Oh, I thought you went.
no, it was raining.
Yeah, I mean, how'd you play on Sunday?
Decent actually.
See, when you get free tickets, you're not bothered about going. When you pay for them, you're like, no, I'm definitely gonna go.
True.
I think you and me and Wu would get along very well, mate.
I did offer it to you.
You wait. Oh, hold on.
Sunday.
So what you sent me? First of all, it was way too late when you sent it to me,
Yeah.
because I was already on my way to the golf club to play golf myself. I thought you were just showing me that you just had a general admission ticket, and that you only had one, and that you couldn't get me one. I didn't realize that you were giving me your ticket to go. I did not realize that, Chenji. I apologize. I genuinely thought you were just like, oh, I can only get one general admission ticket, dude. And I thought you were going to play a little bit of golf like early doors, and then go in the like lunch after golf or whatever, and go and watch like the second half of the golf. That's what I thought you were going to do, if I'm honest. But you ended up not going.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
Fair, Saturday was great.
Yeah, I mean,
great experience.
Do you know what it was, right?
Also, like in the shuttle, right? You had like private BMW drive, like a BMW car, and driving for you everywhere.
That's mad.
So basically, all the guys driving the shuttle cars, right, are affiliated with the club. So they're either like, for example, caddies, either full-time caddies, part-time caddies.
That's wicked.
Work for the pro shop or whatsoever, right? So one of the guy, we call him Crazy John because he's actually a great guy. Goes off road in the BMW, right? Just zips it around, like just literally floors the pedal, like while you're on the course, like driving between different places.
Jesus,
absolutely amazing. Shout out to you, John. I did tell him we had a golf podcast.
Okay.
Anyway, hope he follows us. Again, thanks, John. And he was caddying for Orberg's group during the Celebrity Pro-Am.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And he was basically like, saying that again, we all thought that he was hitting it so long, and he's a tall guy, he is very strong. But apparently he had this flight scope alongside with him the whole time, and his drives were averaging only about 290 yards.
Is that
total
it?
Distance. That's actually it. No, total distance.
Total distance. Okay,
not enough. Carry. I checked. Is that carry? Is that total? They said no, that's total.
Oh wow. Okay, fair enough.
My mate Theo hits it 300-yard carry.
No, well, that's not true. But thank you, Chenji. Thank you. I'm sure you was like, oh, my mate Theo, Crazy John. I've got a mate. He's called Theo. We do the podcast together. He carries it at least 300 yards. It's like, oh yeah, I'm sure he does, Chenji.
Easily.
Oh, wicked, mate.
Yeah, but like I got to learn some really cool stuff. Last year he was also in the Pro-Am again, and then he got invited to like to the Players Lounge, which is again a separate place, and and got to mingle with all the celebrities. Right, this is the thing, right, with these kind of events.
Yeah,
you've got the like general area. You've got the general plus area, right? Hospitality whatsoever. You've got the sponsors area, right? So, BMW, Hilton, all sorts of stuff. That's what I did last 2 years. And then above that, you've got the celebrity areas.
It's mad. And this year's Pro-Am, it's
crazy.
Stacked.
Man.
Unbelievable people were there. And I saw some clips. It's I don't know, mate. One day, hopefully, this podcast gets big enough where we're invited to places like this, because that would be a dream come true.
Celebrity area, right?
Yeah. I just want to play some golf at Wentworth.
But it's actually really cool, and the course conditions are great. And again, basically, the members there are sacrificing 2 to 3 weeks of non-playing time, just in preparation for.
Well, that's normal, dude. This JCB, it's exactly the same,
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's
So,
what you need to
no,
do. Actually,
but JCB though, like, it's just a bunch of corporate members, right? There's no individual members, whereas Wentworth is a bunch of individual members.
yeah.
All people play every single day, right? So I guess no wonder that they get treated really well during the actual tournament,
Yep.
because they are actually, like, paying the dues every single day,
Yep.
and then they don't get access to play, right? And apparently, actually, what Crazy John is saying, like, a lot of members in Wentworth are not golfers. So I know, but hear me out. They're just members for tennis, for their wellness club, and
Okay.
some of it even like the creche, like, so
Yeah,
they
yeah,
can
yeah.
drop off their kids, right? And people who are living within the Wentworth estate, minimum price for property there easily 10 million,
That's mad.
right? And they complain about this tournament because they can't park
Yeah.
where, like, next to the, like, clubhouse. They can't park next to the tennis club, or the celebrities take it, right? So, like, the clubhouse parking is only reserved for players and celebrities, right? So not even members can access that.
Yeah.
And so all these people are just like complaining, like, oh my gosh, And then, funny enough, I was seeing quite a few people, like, whilst driving into the estate, like, carrying their tennis bags, and who absolutely give no
Yeah.
shizzles about golf, and then just go
Just
off in
looking
their
down, like,
tennis
oh,
courts and playing
I
some
can't
tennis.
believe that
Like,
they're taking my parking spot for this.
I
They're
know,
so
like,
loud, they're obnoxious. Everybody's drinking, everybody's loud, everybody's shouting.
let me play my
I just
tennis
want to
in
play
peace. I
tennis.
just want to play my little,
That's
full.
wicked,
I
man.
don't
Dude,
know.
I'm so happy that you had such a great weekend. And you know what it was as well, right? Because you had a general admission ticket on the Sunday, it was almost like you had such a perfect day on the Saturday. Like, what's the point of the Sunday? So I think that's one of the reasons why you were like, I'd rather play golf today. I
I tell
kind of
you
get
what,
it.
though, like, I feel like I've been so really privileged because I got to experience, like, the BMW PGA in a few different ways.
Yes, I agree. But this way that you've experienced it, I don't. It's one of those things where money can't buy.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, like, all of my experiences there, I don't know how lucky I really got. I mean, because the first year that I went, 2021,
Yeah,
right? And I just got absolutely smashed.
yeah. You
Right?
were the guy that was like patting John Ram on the back, like, yeah,
I
go on,
was I was
Rambo.
that guy. No, but to be fair, if they gave me a platform to be able to do that at the state that I was back then, I would have done it.
Yeah, yeah. I believe
But
you.
because we were, like, in the 10s next to 18th, we weren't actually close to the players.
Yeah,
I was
which is
just
a great
shouting
thing.
at them. So if you were, like, watching TV, you could probably hear me saying, get in on.
Yeah, yeah. Light the
Like,
candle.
light the candle. It's
Fair
like
enough.
mashed potatoes. I tell you what, I was actually shouting mashed potatoes that day. But it was a Saturday with loads of drinks, all you can drink, in the sponsor stand. So it just got absolutely hammered, right? The following year, which was last year, was there on a Sunday, right? So had to work the next day, and it was just a bit more civilized. It was the same 10, all again, all you can eat, all you can drink, but just I was taking it easy relatively, and then just mainly watching the golf, right? And then this year, it was just purely like the players' experience, seeing the players up close, talking to a couple of them, and then just looking at how they prepare for the round, prepare for each hole, right? How they talk to the caddies,
Yeah,
and I was literally listening to them up close, and then how the whole event is being organized. Um, like the volunteers, everything. Again, shout out to everybody who's made this happen. Such an amazingly well organized
yeah.
event, right, for everybody.
There's a
So
greenkeeper from JCB that went to Wentworth for the week to help out there. Ronan,
nice.
shout out to Ronan. Yeah, he was
Oh,
there.
shout out to Ronan.
Dude, they were starting at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, absolutely.
Madness,
Like,
but fair play. Obviously, there's a lot of work that goes into it. I did
like
not
whilst we
realize.
were sort of like zipping along the course, like being shuttled to here and there,
Yeah,
you could see where all the tractors were parked, and there were hundreds of them.
yeah.
Like, again, there's
Obviously,
like
if
four courses, right? But
yeah,
it's
I
crazy how
did
much
not know.
equipment there is.
Yeah, of course, dude. It's one of those places where there's no budget as well. It's like whatever you
Yeah,
need,
but
best of the
well,
best.
I thought, right? Okay, I knew there was like a small par three executive course, like 9 holes. But I thought out of the three remaining courses, you've got the West, which is the flagship one,
Yeah.
right? And you've had maybe like another one, which is sort of championship quality, and another one, which is like sort of, much shorter, casual round. But no, all three of those 18 holes are championship quality.
Wow. Can
right?
you get
So,
us
like,
in?
they play
Can we
7,000
play
yards.
there? Can we play?
I'll sort this out.
How much do you reckon a round is there?
£200.
Do you have to know a member? Is it like Centurion?
To be fair, if you know a member, it's very, very cheap. It's like 50, 60, but £100, I think.
Sort it out, Chenji. Come on.
Yeah, I'll sort it out.
Come on, Chenji, for the podcast.
Do it for the potty.
Right, on that
Don't do it,
note, I think that is everything, dude. Have you got anything else?
No.
Another great episode. Guys, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Rice and Slice Podcast. We will see you next week. Thank you very much. I love you, Chenji. Bye.
Love you too.